Hey guys, how you doing? Well, I'm doing pretty good. And I was on the bed for another day or so, and now I'm off again. That's the best thing of the joke. So how are you doing with it? I'm off and on, or something like that. I don't know, maybe it's not that much of a joke. So anyway, I'm off, starting in the afternoon. Um, when I was timing how long I was off. We started in the afternoon, and then I was off for like 4 hours, and then I had to go back on, and I wanted to beat that record. And I think the thought was, this is, well, we want to beat that record. Why don't we take you off before lunch rather than after lunch? And so I'm not going to try to set records. I think just if it works better after lunch, uh, then just stick with that. Uh, uh, so, um, so I'm doing okay. At least we fixed one problem. Not fix it, but identify the problem. So that was good. And now, um, things are going good with me and my girlfriend. And all that's going on now is she's, for her to go from, or for her to move from Ohio to Indiana, she needs to have her birth certificate and a state ID. So they're going to set that up. They're going to start with the birth certificate. There's a fee involved. And I believe there's a fee involved. Which reminds me, I got to do the same thing. Because if I want to go from Indiana to Florida, I have to do the same thing. Because my birth certificate and state ID were in the storage unit that was auctioned off. So my birth certificate is not going to be useful to whomever got my storage unit. So I gotta go. I gotta schlep through the same procedure to get a birth certificate and a state ID. And I love it for to be a driver's license. But, and oh, I would love to be behind the wheel of a car. But I don't see that happening, you know. So I'm just gonna get a state ID, and if by some miracle I'm able to get behind the wheel of a car and go through that whole experience by being a car owner and driving and paying for insurance and all that fun stuff, then we'll worry about that. But for now, it's just going to be state ID, which, you know, So she's got to get it. I got to get it. So in a way, it connects us by that way, because we're now in this together, the two of us. Uh, so, um, and as far as insurance is concerned, our administrator told me that he could take care of that. He says, I don't see a problem, insurance wise. Just moving from, because normally you have to show residence, to have the insurance continue. I told the administrator that. He said, "Oh, true, but I could take care of that. That's no problem." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah." So I said, "Cool beans." So yeah, so it's not gonna be a problem for him. So really, the only thing that she's got to do is get the state ID and the birth certificate. So her social worker is going to take care of the birth certificate. I got to get cracking and try to get a hold of my birth certificate. So at least I have it and the state ID. Yeah. So that's about it. I tell you, it's wonderful being in love. It's wonderful to have someone who truly, truly, okay, that's a good word. I just made up a word and they truly, truly loves me. And it's wonderful to be loved. And I'm going to call the Oxford Dictionary and tell him, forget everything else that you've been adding. I'm going to tell you about a new word called trilly. And speaking of that, I hate the word molested when it refers to what it refers to. Because looking at the dictionary, and you look at modern dictionaries, and then they'll say informal, if a child has been raped, you know. But really the word to molest means to approach, which really, so if to molest means to approach, why don't we just forget about the word molest and say the word approach? I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid when you have a word that is can't think of the word. Can't think of the word. Ambiguous. Thank you. See, the word molest is an ambiguous word because it, to me, it doesn't really say anything. Approach does. Approach is a very descriptive word. Approach and identify. Approach the throne. Dear commoner, have you approached your father? Yeah, I approached him. Approach your boss. Approach me! And kneel. Approach. Molest. What did he say? Molest? Uh, what is that word? What's that word mean? To molest? Approach. Oh, I know that word. Oh, you want me to approach you? I can approach you. Yes. 2 steps forward, my mechanical friend, and approach me and kiss my hand. Approach is a very common word. It's a descriptive word, and it's a powerful word. And it's a word everyone knows. To approach. Approach the stand. Yeah. Approach the bench. That's the word I remember. Right? In a court trial, you don't hear the judge say, molest the bench. No. He says, approach the bench. Counsel approach the bench. Like if there's a problem during the trial. And so I think we should throw out the word molest, because for it to mean approach, I think is ridiculous. Because like I said, the judge tells the to counsel, counsels approach the bench. Doesn't say molest, he says approach. So let's throw out the word molest. It's ambiguous. It doesn't say anything. And for those who say, don't throw the word out because it means, because we're using it to mean for an adult to sexually rape a child. And I'd say, okay, then why don't you say that? If you want to say to sexually abuse a child, then say that. I mean, why use a very ambiguous word, molest? If you mean to sexually rape a child, then say sexually abuse a child. And that's why, and I think that people are getting really soft in the language. And they don't say what they mean. And they're using a lot of double talk. Oh my God, he's going through shell shock. He's going through post-traumatic stress disorders. Huh? Post-traumatic stress disorder. It's sort of faded and budgy and oh, he's going through shell shock. Poor guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, fat is fat. I've heard people, I've heard say, call me fat, and they don't want to say fat to. They don't want to hurt my feelings. You know, I know what I am. Fat is a three-letter word. F-A-T. Fat. That doesn't offend me. That doesn't hurt my feelings. You know, I'll never forget as long as I live. There was a little boy when I used to live in New York. And he approaches me. See? There's the word approach. See how easy that word is? Easy to understand. Approach. So he approaches me and he says, he looks at me up and down. He says, "You're big." And I looked him up and down and I said, "And you're small. So what's your point?" And I swear the kid had a deer in the headlights look. Because he didn't expect that response. You know? And this was years and years ago. And of course, I'm not going to find that today. Because society has been brainwashed to, soften our language. Speaking of which, did you hear on the news about that Yale free speech thing where people came to talk about free speech? And as soon as they said free speech, some students started shouting at them, and things like that. So they have a problem with free speech. They don't want to hear free speech. They don't want to hear the subject of free speech because they're not supposed to speak freely. And so they were yelling at him, and you know what popped into my mind? The first thing that popped into my mind when I saw that was Cheech and Chong. They had the greatest response to something like that when it was Sister Mary Elephant, that whole routine, right? And I thought to myself, oh, if I could only send Sister Mary Elephant into that room when those students were verbally attacking the kids people on stage, and talking about free speech. And then Sister Mary Elephant would yell, "Shut up!" Thank you. Of course, you yell, "Shut up," but that, and of course they'll shut up because they don't expect you to be louder than they are. See, that's the point. They're going to be shouting loud. You out-shout them. You go louder than they are. They'll shut up. Shut up! Thank you. Now, please let these students talk about free speech that is in the Constitution of the country that you are currently a citizen of. You are in a country that guarantees free speech. And if you got a problem with free speech, then you are in the wrong country. get out of the country. See, that's what I would do. I say, you kids have a problem with free speech? Good. Then we'll send you to a communist country or some other country where they don't care about free speech. You're in the wrong country. And I swear that's what I would do if I were president. Anybody who infringes upon free speech, who doesn't like freedom of speech, doesn't like anything in the Constitution, doesn't like the American way, you are in the wrong country. Get out. And go to a country that agrees with your sentiments. You don't like this in our country, then go to another country that agrees with what you like. You don't like this, you don't like this, you don't like this. Mine. I know of a few countries that agrees with that. You go to that country. We'll send you there free! You don't even have to pay a dime. We'll send you over there. And then when you're late, go on there. They'll say, do you agree with free speech? I'll say no. I say, I like this place. But you see, they don't do that. And that's what they should do. It's just, it is so ironic. It's like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I swear, I feel like, I think it was Y2K. And I fell asleep on December 31st, 1999. And when I woke up January 1st, 2000, I woke up on a parallel Earth. And somewhere on Earth Prime, the Twin Towers is still standing. And I'm on this parallel Earth with weird people. Anyway, that's about it. That's about it. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. And I'm still doing okay. Okay. See you soon. Okay. Bye.